Alright, of course, we got some more goodies for the SurRon in here. Title and thumbnail probably already gives away what's in this box here, but I'm pumped to try these things out. Finally have a Supermoto setup for the SurRon. I didn't even know about these until a couple weeks ago. I happened to see them on Instagram. Now that my SurRon has more power, thought these things would be fun, so here we are checking them out. Things are sick. So sweet. Take a look at these things. Red hub, red spokes. I didn't even know it comes with the tires on it, so it saved me a lot of time because I hate putting tires on. These things are gonna be so sick. I'm pumped to try these things out. By Flow Wheels, I'll leave his link down below in the description if you want to pick yourself up a set of Supermoto wheels. Bring the SurRon over here and we'll compare stock to the Supermoto setup. Picked up a new rotor too. I thought it came in a 2-pack, but that way it's already set up. I don't have to swap rotors if I want to go back and forth between the wheel sets. And I'm waiting on a sprocket, but I'll just take it off the stock wheels for now. But matching SurRon with the Supermoto over here. The Kubrick wheels are a 22, so I think they're the same size. Definitely gonna sit a lot lower. I realize how much smaller these things were from the stocks, but these are 12-inch. The stocks are 19, so quite a big difference here. And these tires are a little bit wider. I hope it fits between the fork because these things are already cutting it pretty close on here. Rear shouldn't be a problem. We should have plenty of room. It might barely scrape against the chain, but got a little bit more room to work with back here. We'll start taking these things off and get these things all fitted up. And also, I am aware there's been a ton of e-bike content recently, but over here in the other garage, I've had a bike for a while now, which you'll see in the next week or two. I don't know how to hint it without showing it. I've had this thing for a while now. So the only thing I'm gonna say is it's a 2-stroke, and one of you are gonna be able to win it. So put your guesses in the comments what kind of bike you think it is, but I know pretty much all of you are gonna be stoked once I finally reveal it. Finally have a new bike to make some content with. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss those videos in the next week. Went to go take my wheel off and realized, completely forgot that I never ordered a new locking nut on this axle. Probably all over this year without a lock nut on there. A little bit sketchy, and this wasn't even really that tight. Especially now that this thing does like 65. There's really not much to it. Boom. Figure out now how these spacers work and why they're disconnected with this PVC for. Change out the pads with some freshies, but looks like we actually have a decent amount left. Somehow these have lasted me like a year. Now that this thing goes like 3 times faster, it's a little bit sketchy with the stock brakes. Just found some random rotor on Amazon. I think it was like 10 or 15 bucks. Definitely can't beat it. We'll see how it is though. Guess I'll leave this thing linked below too if you're in the market for some new rotors, if you're picking up wheels too. Might be a little bit bigger than stock, I'm not sure. Contemplating changing the whole gear ratio once I get a sprocket for this. Setup maybe being geared a little more for top speed, but I don't know how much faster I want to go than 65 on this thing, to be honest with you. Alright, should be good to go. I figured out what this PVC is for. It's basically just to press this in evenly. This little washer thing kind of sits on here and then it just presses in. Just makes your life a little bit easier. Get it lined up somewhat. I push it in. It pops into place, you'll feel it. Now we're good to go. It's a tight fit. It's looking like I'm gonna have to take the brake off and then slide it onto the rotor. I don't think there's any way I'm gonna be able to squeeze that in there. These things were barely tight too. I should honestly do a full bolt check. I really haven't done anything to it in the past year. Now hopefully this thing will slide right into place. Still gonna be a tight fit though. Beautiful. It's barely touching on the insides of the forks. It's just gonna rub a little bit till it wears the paint off. No big deal. Slide this back on, we'll be good to go. Looks like I'll have to take it off and run it through the front so it's not scraping on the wheel the whole time. It's honestly still pretty tight, but nothing a couple zip ties can't fix to make sure it doesn't hit the wheel the whole time. There's really not too much room to work with here. I did see somewhere, I think it was Cole, that told me I could use some like pipe fitting nut or something for piping that would work as a nut on this thing. I'm gonna go back to the comments and look and see what he was talking about. Zip tie, and this thing will be solid. Get it all into place. The size difference is nuts. It's really like a little mini pit bike now. Quickly, I want to thank Let's Get Checked for sponsoring this video. Let's Get Checked makes professional health testing easy by letting you get tested without having to visit your healthcare provider. You just choose your test online and it'll be delivered to you in discreet packaging with next day delivery. Once your sample arrives in the laboratory, confidential results will be available from your secure online account within 2 to 5 days. These results are reviewed by a doctor, and a member of the Let's Get Checked nursing team may call you to review your results. In some cases, the doctor will be able to provide prescriptions directly to the pharmacy of your choosing. Let's Get Checked laboratories are CLIA approved and CAP accredited. Let's Get Checked lets you avoid uncomfortable office visits and provide you with access to home testing without ever having to leave your home. So it's never been this easy to get tested. If you want to get tested at home, you can use the link on the screen right here or down below in my description. Right now, they're giving you guys 30% off using my code on the screen right here. definitely check out Let's Get Checked. Thank you to Let's Get Checked for sponsoring this video, and we'll get into the rest of the vlog.
It's gonna sit so low. It's such a big difference. This thing's gonna look cool. This is the angle where it looks ridiculous. It'll be just like the Supermoto. I can pretty much do the same stuff. Gotta be a little more careful in the graph. I know I've seen some on-road, off-road Supermoto tires too. Kind of like what the Grom guys used back in the day when Groms were popular. I bet the Supermoto wheels weigh double the stock just based on feel. This thing's probably due for a new chain too. Boom. The rear pads have more life left than I thought too. Get these ripped off quick. Responsible thing to do is do this by hand so I don't strip it out and hate myself. These weren't even that tight either, honestly. There it is. Who knows, I might love the Supermoto setup and never put my kinda off-road tires back on. We'll see. As much as I want to try new tires on this, I don't want to change the tires. If you know with these mini tires are a pain to change. Finally, this thing's ready. Got plenty of room to work with. I'm surprised it went together that smooth. Cool, it's good to go. So here it is, the full Supermoto setup. It's a little bit dirty. I've been riding this thing around. It's so much fun. It looks so cool now. For some reason, I think it looks a little more aggressive now. It's lower, stance is better. It's almost like the same size as like a 110, a little bit taller, but pretty much the same thing. I got the upgraded 60-volt battery. This would normally be a little bit lower. If you watched the last video, I upgraded the battery and controller, so this thing will do like 65, have a ton of power now, even with the 60-volt battery, not the 72. Along with Qi batteries, hooking you guys up with 5% off of your order. Using my discount code Tyler. Everything for that will be in the description. Enough talking, let's go try this thing out. Man, this thing has so much torque now. The wheels are smaller, it just has so much torque. I might have to adjust it in the app to switch it over from the big wheels to the small wheels. It's just got instant torque now. Pops right up. A little bit harder to wheelie because it goes side to side easier now. Thing can get so low now. I think it would be fun at one of those indoor electric go-kart tracks. It would be perfect for that. Or dragging my foot back. Definitely feel a difference in the front end. You have so much more room to work with. On the handlebars, it just wants to grip, and wherever you turn, that's immediately where it wants to go. It's so much different than the stocks. Feels like I'm riding my 450L right now. Such a different bike now. One downfall I'm seeing right now, I didn't realize, I can't put the kickstand down anymore. It's not even possible. It's gonna tip over. So that kind of sucks. But I'm used to it with the pit bikes not having kickstands. Hit the camera on the ground. Just chipped the 360 camera on the ground. Just got super lucky I didn't mess up the lens. All right, let's go try this thing off-road, see how it does. I don't expect too much, but we'll give it a shot. I'm gonna go on my settings and try and calibrate it to the wheel size, if there's even an option to do that. So we'll go to wheel size, do 10 inch, that would be the closest to it. I don't know if I can do a custom. No, I can't do a custom size on here, so we'll shut this thing down and restart it, and then I'll go back out to the street and see if it made a difference in top speed and the overall kind of power hit. All right, we should be good to go. Let's see if it did anything. Tell if it made a difference. The power does feel a little bit longer, but it still has that torque on the bottom. So not sure if it really changed much. We're probably doing about 50, 55 before I change the settings. 55, 60 is plenty for this thing. We'll just take the road back. It's a little bit faster. I'd say we're street legal. Got this thing back to the house. My overall review after riding it street, it's super fun. You can kind of carve and get into the corners way better than you ever could on the stock setup, and I wouldn't even want to try it on the stock setup. Kind of like having more torque, less than top speed. Front end just being able to pop up super easy. Looks like my chain tensioner moved forward. It's not good. Fix that later. But if you ride like 90% street, this is definitely the way to go. Takes out a lot of that vibration you'd normally get with the other setup. Want to check out Flow wheels? Like I said, I'll leave them linked below. You can pick any color you want, custom hub, nipple color, spoke color, wheel color. With that, if you guys want to see more SurRon videos, make sure you're subscribed. But with that, I'll catch you guys in the next video.